Save the Semantics, episode 127. It is September 21st, 2020. My name is Myro. This is a podcast where I ramble on about shit, including things in my life, things going on in the news, or just whatever I want to talk about, to an extent. Today is the 21st of September, which means it's officially fall, right? Am I right? Or is it tomorrow? Is it the 22nd? I think it's the 22nd. I know it's like June 22nd is when summer starts. And so it might be September 22nd when fall officially starts, although it's still kind of in that summer heat kind of weather right now. Weather's nice right now, though. It's definitely, it feels a lot more natural now than what it was like last week or 2 weeks ago in that hellscape of like a weather pattern that we had with like the fucking Blade Runner-esque atmosphere and, yellow skies and red skies up in Oregon. I mean, I know places are still burning, obviously. We're still not out of fire season yet, so things can change. But at this moment right now, weather's nice. It's about like 70, 78 degrees, something like that. I don't know. But it's a nice change of pace. Kind of back to this California normal weather. I've been sort of keeping busy in a sense. I mean, keeping busy by just sort of, having a routine to a degree. I'm starting work in a month, so that's like exciting, something different. So this last month, or this upcoming month, is really going to be kind of like the last month where I have actual like free time, really. I mean, of course I'm going to have time to do things, to kind of relax and whatnot, but in terms of actually kind of having the time to, I don't know, really enjoy myself, enjoy having time to myself, it is kind of, drawing near. Really, it's not that big of a deal, but again, it's just kind of something that I've been thinking about in terms of thinking about where to put my time towards, like what kind of things I can work on. I don't know if I really want to like start like a project or anything like that. Not that I've even really done that at all this year, but just in terms of what kind of things, what kind of entertainment I want to put my time towards. Really, I've just been playing my Switch. I've been playing some Xenoblade still. I've been playing the DLC, which has been a lot of fun. It's essentially a prequel to the main game. So I've put in a little bit of time into that. I feel like they definitely improved the combat in this DLC. It feels a lot smoother. It feels a lot more coherent in terms of like what's going on. I think because I was able to play through the first game, I think I have like a better understanding of the combat system now. Because I really didn't get it. Like I didn't really get the right combos in the main game until like basically towards like the end of the game. Where I finally started to like kind of understand, like, oh shit, okay, this is how you do it. You have to combine this with this in order to get this. I think the DLC makes it a little easier to do those things. It's a little, it is like easier to an extent, just to pull off those combos. I think there's more opportunity for like chain attacks to go successfully and that sort of thing. So that's been a lot of fun. I like the ability you have to switch between like uh, the blade and the driver. I think that's really cool. And yeah, I've been having fun with it. I like the characters a lot. I think everyone is pretty interesting. Um, I don't know where I am in the story. Um, I think it's like towards the end. It's hard to gauge. I really don't know. I know it's like a short story. I'm trying to like I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with the playthrough. I think, obviously I want to beat the game, but I also want to try to maybe get to 99, level 99, um, just because like I think that would be kind of fun to do. But we'll see. We'll see. And then I thought after that maybe I might dive back into the main game again. Maybe um, play through New Game Plus if I have the time. But we'll see. Yeah, I think just like just absolutely obliterating monsters at level 99 throughout the main game, trying out some of the new customizations that they have, maybe trying to gotcha some new blades, some DLC blades if I can. Um, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Should be fun if I have the time and motivation to do that. Obviously, I'm gonna beat the DLC first. Um, so yeah, that's really kind of what I've been putting my time towards. I've been just studying. Haven't really been watching a whole lot of Netflix. I was briefly watching Better Call Saul a little bit, and then I just kind of was like, I don't know. I might watch it tonight. I think just because like I feel like I need kind of my TV fix. I haven't watched anything really episodic in a while, so um, maybe we'll hop back into that. But yeah, it's been a good it's been a solid past week or so for the most part, which is something regarding just everything that's happened within the last month and a half or so. It's been good. I'm like it's a lot. It feels a lot better now, and I know things can change just considering that we're still like in fire season and everything like that, but it feels much more. Um, things are a little better now, which is good to say at this time, at this moment. I've really kind of I think I might have mentioned this last episode, just talking about um, lessening my consumption of media, and I think it's kind of helped in a sense. Like I'm still watching stuff on YouTube, and I'm still like using Twitter or whatever, but I'm not like constantly on there. I think during evacuation I was always on there just because I just needed updates on what was going on and stuff. And so I was just constantly just eyes glued to the screen. But now it's like, well, I mean, of course it's good to be in the know of things. It's good to keep yourself updated, but other than that, it's like I don't know if I really need any of this. So, my consumption of like Instagram is just kind of, I'll still like hop up on there for memes or whatever, but outside of that, it's like, well, I don't really need to do any of this. So, um, yeah, that's just kind of my experience for like the past week or so. I think it's just like, um, I think it's constant, just like attention, in a sense, or just having your attention constantly, um, in fucking shit. Just basically having something to do. I don't know if that's necessarily like a good thing. Of course, there's always going to be studies talking about the effects of social media and that sort of thing. I haven't watched The Social Dilemma yet. I don't know if I'll get around to it. I mean, I think I get the general gist of it. Um, just it being it's not good for you how it alters your mood and everything. Um, how it affects your day-to-day well-being and that sort of thing. I kind of get it, you know. But I still might get around to it. It is kind of funny, like I don't think Netflix isn't really social media. It's a streaming platform, so it doesn't necessarily have the um, same effect on the user as something like Facebook or Twitter does. But it is kind of funny that they are like the ones showcasing the film, like as if Netflix isn't like a huge distractor of people's time. But I get that's kind of different. I think it's just like it's not like if you're watching like a movie or a show, and if you're not also at the same time, scrolling through Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, then you have, one thing at the center of your attention. Like you don't have all these other shit like kind of circling about you. You can have like one frame of reference. You have one thing to keep your focus on. So I think that's like good in a sense. But if you're scrolling through something like Twitter, like you're seeing just so much in just like a span of less than a minute. You might go through like hundreds of posts, and it's just like there's just so much. It's just such a it's an over it's an abundance of information, mostly useless, that you really don't need, right? And it's a lot of funny shit. Like there's a lot of funny shit on Twitter that I enjoy, but there's also just, there's always going to be an opinion thread of something, and while I might agree with that specific opinion, once I go on to that thread, then you just see all this shit, basically, of both, retorts, people that agree and that kind of expound upon or kind of extend the conversation or whatever. But it's just like the negative feedback on the post is what sticks out, and then like what you initially might have agreed with like the top commenter or the original thread tweet, turns into like a negative in a sense, right? Like you see a post maybe that's like politically based, and then you see like the other side saying something about it, and then that's what you kind of focus on, and then you see like the hundreds of other comments underneath it arguing and shit, and it's just I just don't that's like the part that's like I don't know how important or how integral this is to like anything really. I think when it comes to picking a side, a lot of people already have kind of made up their minds. Maybe some people are uh, they are influenced or not influenced. God damn, I can't speak anymore. Jesus Christ, being stuck inside for so long has made me just forget how to talk normally. Some people are some people are able to see like the other side of the argument, and they're like, okay, I can kind of see that. They sort of realize this. But I feel like for the most part, they're not really swayed in that favor. They're either trying to start shit, or they're just, they're very set in their ways, and they're not really wanting to change. They're just kind of there to spit out their own opinion without really any sense of change or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of I really just try to avoid that kind of thing for the most part. Again, it's good to, in a sense, to have conversations about certain things, but I don't feel like most of them amount to much, you know? So that's why I kind of it's been good to a sense that I've been limiting my usage. I feel like I don't know how much I don't know if I can really tell if my mood is better or anything like that, but it certainly, I certainly feel less stressed out than I was before. Um, Again, I don't know how significant this is because like this has really only been like maybe like a week or so, but just taking, just like it's a habit of going back and forth to these same sites over and over again, trying to see more content because you're bored, and then you're realizing, oh well, I'm not gonna get if I'm bored, then I'm bored. Like there's sometimes there's just nothing that you can do to really cure that. It's just it's just a temporary thing. Go to sleep, man. It's already 1 o'clock. Like it's not really worth your time to be continue scrolling, right? Um, you just kind of do it because it's sort of been a force of habit, and also because you're bored and you need to, you know, or you just need to get your mind off of some shit. And you're just kind of scrolling endlessly, or you're trying to find something to watch on YouTube. So yeah, it's good to kind of just get that shit off, right? Um, I did actually see. Um, Speaking of like being isolated and everything, I did see like this one article talking about how quarantine and this, you know, this current state of living is really going to change people's like behaviors and whatnot, and I definitely get that. Just talking about how we've just kind of become more socially awkward during this period of time. Well, and it's just like it's obvious for sure, but it is kind of funny that there's kind of a there's articles talking about that and just how it is going to be for us to adjust back into that sort of normalcy of you know communicating with people on a regular basis. Um, and I've talked about this before, back in college. That's so weird to say now. Um, I mean, really wasn't long ago, but it's going to get to a point where it's going to be like 2 years ago when I was in college. But yeah, anyways, back when things were somewhat normal, in college, like my routine really wasn't too much different in a sense. Like obviously I was much more out and about than I was before, than I am now. I mean, but in terms of like my interaction with people, like I mostly kept to myself, right? I think just the biggest thing was like meeting up with friends and whatnot, um, interacting with people in class and that sort of thing. So I, for me, it hasn't been like that big of a change, but still, it is definitely going to affect how I interact with people, when I do when things eventually like open back up in a sense, right? Once things are kind of in the clear. And I'm like, I'm glad that other people kind of feel the same way. How, this whole period of time really affects how you're going to act, for a while, right? Like how you're going to be for a while. Because it's a pretty, for some people, it's a pretty big change, in terms of your routine and everything. For I guess for people that are more outgoing, people that are out and about more, like that's pretty big shift in how they do things. I mean I don't know. For some people, it hasn't really changed because they don't give a shit and they're just out and about and they're partying like nothing's changed, which is disappointing to say the least. I don't know how much yelling you could do, like for people that are like in like going to bars and shit. Just telling them like what you're doing is stupid. Like you can't. I just don't like. Again, when it kind of comes back to that point where sometimes it really doesn't matter what you say. Like you can make the most convincing argument, and some people just are not gonna, move an inch. Some people are just gonna be, stuck to their ways. Like I don't know. I mean, it goes back to what I was talking about in terms of like, again, not to get all political, but for a lot of like supporters, like Trump supporters, like some things, like, you could provide evidence, whatever, and it just really doesn't matter for some of these people. Like, they're just kind of, you know, no, like, no sense of, no change, no change in direction or anything like that. They're going to be stuck to their ways and whatnot. But you just kind of have to keep going, I guess. I don't know. My hope is that people that have kind of followed the rules and have been the most respectful in a sense by maintaining distance and whatnot. If they do, if they are out and about, they're, being safe about it, and they're not doing stupid shit like partying with 80 other people in a packed room or anything like that. Didn't like Alabama have like more COVID cases than Canada or something like that? Was this like, I think this was like a week ago or something like that. Shit's fucked, man. But you just gotta keep going in a sense, right? Just kind of have to push through, and be very wary of your surroundings. And yeah, that's all I got. I was gonna do it for today's episode, whatever this was. And I will see you guys next time. Save the semantics. Signing off.